Good day. I'm Joana Marquinez together with Miss Patricia Malapitan, and we are going to report about the Cordillera Administrative Region, or what we call CAR region. Cordillera Administrative Region has an area and location of 18,294 square kilometers. It is bounded on the northeast by Cagayan Province, on the south by Pangasinan and Nueva Vizcaya, on the east by Isabela, and on the west by Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, and La Union. Geographic profile of Cordillera Administrative Region is predominantly mountainous with towering peaks, plateaus, and valleys. The climate is dry from November to April and rainy for the rest of the year. The weather is cool throughout the year, especially in the months of November to February. So, sinasabi dito na from November to April ay pinakamaulan o maulan sa loob ng buong taon. And ang pinaka weather is cool throughout the year, especially in the months of November to February. The population of Cordillera region is 1,722,006 and estimated of 1,807,758 in 2020. The political profile of Cordillera Administrative Region is composed of 6 provinces: Abra, Apayao, Benguet, Ifugao, Kalinga, and Mountain Province. Baguio City, the summer capital of the Philippines, is located in Benguet. So, sinasabi na summer capital of the Philippines ay nakalocate daw sa Benguet. How to get there? Cordillera Administrative Region is accessible by land and by air. However, due to its mountainous landscape, transportation between and provinces, municipalities and barangays could be difficult. The region can be entered from the west through Ilocos Region via Quezon Road, Marcos Highway, and Naglian Road. From the east, it can be reached via Tuguegarao in Cagayan Province. Ifugao is accessible via Nueva Vizcaya through Municipality of Bagapag. Abra, and the capital of Abra is Benguet. Abra has the area and location that occupies the western portion of the Cordillera region and has a total land area of 4,165.25 square kilometers or 1,608.21 square miles. It is bounded by Ilocos Norte and Apayao on the north, Ilocos Sur on the south, Mountain Province and Kalinga on the east, and Ilocos Sur on the west. Abra has the geographic profile too. The towering mountains of the Ilocos and the Cordillera provides a natural barrier on the both eastern and western sides of this landlocked province. It is rugged terrain of mountains and hills running towards Ilocos Sur is broken by flatlands near the Abra Valley and alongside the Abra River flowing northward from Mountain Province. How to get there o sinasabi na paano daw makakapunta ng Abra. From Manila, Philippine Rabbit and Times Transit buses leave Caloocan and Cubao regularly for Benguet. The travel time is approximately 8 hours. There are mini buses and dime transit buses plying daily routes from the terminal and the new market in Bigan, Benguet. Population of area of Abra. So this is the population of Abra. The population of Abra in 2015 census was 241,160 people with a density of 58 inhabitants per square kilometer or 150 inhabitants per square mile. So this is the tourist attractions to Abra. Name and locations: Abra National Museum, Tayum. Description: this museum houses a collection of coins and paper money as well as large collection of Philippine gold artifacts and prehistoric pottery. So, yon, sinasabing museum ng National Museum of Abra is, collection ng coins, paper money, gold artifacts, and prehistoric pottery. Kumbaga tinatawag ng mga makalumang mga gamit noon. Abra River, large part of the province of Abra. Originating from Cordillera Mountains and flowing down to Ilocos Sur, Abra River is an ideal place for swimming and fishing. It serves as the converging point of all rivers and streams in the nearby provinces and is one of the largest in the area. So, ayun, sinasabi na yung Abra River ay, galing from the Cordillera Mountains, flowing down to Ilocos Sur. Abra River is an ideal place for swimming and fishing. So, yun daw yung sinasabi na ideal place para sa mga magsaswimming, para sa mga mamimingwit. Ganun. Benguet Church. Constructed in 1722, it is the one of the oldest churches in the area, showcasing of those who had rebuilt it over the years. Gabriela Silang Monument. This monument was built to commemorate Gabriela Silang, who led the Ilocano resistance against the Spaniards in 1763. After the death of her husband, Diego Silang, today her monument stands at the town plaza of Pidigan to remind everyone of the heroism of people who fought for the freedom of the country. Yon, si Gabriela Silang daw ang naging against sa Spaniards, sa Espanya noong 1763. And nagkaroon siya ng monument, stands at the town of Plaza of Pidigan to remind everyone, para daw malaman ng lahat ang kabayanihan ng mga tao na nakipaglaban para sa freedom ng bansa. Kimkimay Lake in Taquibilla, Viciosa. Legend says that beneath this lake lies a village that was sunk by the gods as punishment for its habitats. The lake is favorite among picnickers and an ideal place for swimming and fishing. Yon. Yung lake daw, yung Kimkimay Lake daw ay paborito daw ng mga mahilig mag-picnic at ideal place din ang mga nagsuswimming at mga mahilig mamingwit or mangisda. Libtec Underground River in Libtec, Dolores, believed to be inhabited by mysterious water creatures. This river is located inside a cave and surrounded by extruding stalagmites, making it both beautiful and eerie. Provincial capital Benguet. Provincial capital of Benguet. A 3-story building housing the provincial government. The capital is situated in a cool atmosphere surrounded by trees. Nearby is the provincial library. Tangadan Tunnel in Tangadan. This is 40-meter tunnel along the Abra-Ilocos National Road is a popular landmark welcoming the province's visitors. Yun, para yun yung pinakita kanina sa picture ng Abra na ang capital ay Benguet. Tugot ni Angelo. Footprints of Angelo in Cabayuran, San Quintin, claimed to be the real footprints of the legendary giant Angelo, which is the Adam in Abra mythology. The monument, which is 15 meters long, 5 meters wide, and 10 feet deep, is very conspicuous even from a distance. Victoria or Casamata National Park in Benguet. Located on the top of a hill overlooking the town of Benguet and the nearby municipalities, the national park has a shrine of the Blessed Mother cradling the infant Jesus and swimming pool built near a water reservoir. So, ayun po. Ang dami niyang transition. Sorry. So, this is the Apayao, which is the capital, is Cabugao. Ayan. Apayao was the area and location of 392,790 hectares terrain, about 21% of the total land area of the Cordillera Administrative Region or CAR. Geographic profile of Apayao. The province is divided into two parts. Upper Apayao has a mountainous terrain characterized by towering peaks, plateaus, and intermittent valleys. Lower Apayao, on the other hand, is generally flat land with a few rolling mountains plateaus. How to get there? From Manila, one can reach Kabuga by taking a bus going to Tabuk in Kalinga. Bus companies plying the route include Victory Liner, Autobus, and Dangwa Bus Transit. Upon reaching Tabuk, take a bus or jeepney in order to reach Apayao. Population of Apayao. The population of Apayao has 119,184 people in the 2015 census, with a density of 27 inhabitants per square kilometer or 70 inhabitants per square mile. So this is the tourist attractions in Apayao. Named and locations: Agamata National Park and Wildlife Sanctuary in Calanasan. This is the laminated forest land straddling the Ilocos Norte-Apayao boundary. It is a natural site with no tourist facilities but is ideal for hiking, camping, nature tripping, and bird watching. So, ayun. Sinasabi na ang Agamata National Park and Wildlife Sanctuary ay ideal para sa mga hikers, nature tripping, and sa mga mahilig manood ng mga ibong lumilipad. Apayao River is the large parts of Apayao, highly regarded by the locals as unpolluted and pristine. This river traverses 6 Apayao municipalities and can navigated by motorboat. Wildlife and fishes populated its banks. Mount Solo in Pudtol. The highest peak in Apayao, it offers lush greenery and scenic sights along its slopes, and it is good site for camping. Apayao River is the large parts of Apayao, highly regarded by the locals as unpolluted and pristine. This river traverses 6 Apayao municipalities and can navigated by motorboat. Wildlife and fishes populated its banks. Mount Solo in Pudtol. The highest peak in Apayao, it offers lush greenery and scenic sights along its slopes, and it is good site for camping, nature tripping, and mountaineering. Ayun pala, Mount Solo daw ay sinasabi na magandang site for camping sa mga mahilig mag-camping, mahilig mag-nature tripping, and mga mahilig mag-hiking, mga tinatawag na mountaineers. Spanish Church to Barangay Matagi sa Pudtol. This unnamed edifice is one of the oldest Catholic churches in the Philippines. Iyon, ang Spanish Church daw ay isa sa pinakamatandang simbahan ng mga Katoliko sa Pilipinas. So, this is Benguet, and the capital of Benguet is La Trinidad. Benguet has an area and location of 260,648 hectares. Geographic profile is Benguet, like all Cordillera provinces, has a rugged mountainous terrain and is insulated from both the lowlands and the seas. How to get there, o kung paano makakapunta doon. Baguio City can be reached by bus via Marcos Highway, Nagilian Road, or Cannon Road. Most Baguio-bound buses coming from Manila start plying their routes as early as 4 in the morning up to midnight. From Baguio, there are buses going to the other towns of Benguet. So this is the tourist attractions of La Trinidad. Baguio City Cathedral, or in Baguio City. One of the main religious landmarks that do the city, its pinkish hue rise above the skyline. Sana all. Balatok Mines in Balatok, Itogon. These old mines ceased operation when the minerals in the area were depleted. The site, still complete with gun fashioning equipment, was transformed into a tourist destination that offers visitors a chance to go deep inside the mine tunnels. So, ayun. May sinasabi na meron daw doon na lugar na pinagmiminahan. Burnham Park in Baguio City. Named after the city's master planner Daniel Burnham, this park is the traditional venue of the city's numerous festivals. Its man-made lagoon is usually filled with boating, excursionists, bikers, promenaders and skaters delight in the park's wide area. Camp John Hay in Baguio City, formerly the set of recreation center of the United States Armed Forces in the Philippines. Camp John Hay was turned over to the Filipinos with the American left the country in early 90s. It has since been renamed Camp John Hay. Mines View Park in Baguio City. This park is now known as the Shopper's Haven, where you can load up on the province's bounties, hand-woven jackets and blankets, silver knickknacks and jewelry, various jams and preserves. Guests should also check out the breathtaking view of the mining sites on the mountains fronting the park. Mount Pulog in Cabayan. Mount Pulog is the highest mountain in Luzon, reaching more than 9,600 feet. One can literally walk beyond the clouds. The interesting features of the mountain are the lake, the mossy forest at the middle elevation, and the wide expanse of grassland made of dwarf bamboo at the peak area. National Museum in Cabayan. The main focus of the particular museum is the collection of Ibaloy arts craft, including well-preserved mummies which, unlike the mummies in Egypt that are wrapped in gauze and are laid out in a straight position, are garbed only under traditional clothing and are in a sitting or squatting position. Philippine Military Academy in Loacan, Baguio City. The Philippine Military Academy is the premier training ground for young Filipinos who want to excel in a military career. Aside from its interesting military-oriented structures, it is also houses important relics such as cultural artifacts in the Cordillera. So, doon daw sa Loacan, Baguio City ay kung saan doon tinitrain yung mga gustong magsundalo. This is the population of Benguet. Benguet in the 2015 census was 446,224 people. It had a density of 160 inhabitants per square kilometer or 410 inhabitants per square mile if the highly urbanized city of Baguio is included for geographical purposes. The population of 791,590 with a density of 280 kilometer square. So this is the Ifugao, and the capital of Ifugao is Lagawe. Area and location. Covering a total land area of 251,778 hectares, the province of Ifugao is landlocked. The interesting features of the mountain are the lake, the mossy forest at the middle elevation, and the wide expanse of grassland made of dwarf bamboo at the peak area. National Museum in Cabayan. The main focus of the particular museum is the collection of Ibaloy arts craft, including well-preserved mummies which, unlike the mummies in Egypt that are wrapped in gauze and are laid out in a straight position, are garbed only under traditional clothing and are in a sitting or squatting position. Philippine Military Academy in Loacan, Baguio City. The Philippine Military Academy is the premier training ground for young Filipinos who want to excel in a military career. Aside from its interesting military-oriented structures, it is also houses important relics such as cultural artifacts in the Cordillera. So, doon daw sa Loacan, Baguio City ay kung saan doon tinitrain yung mga gustong magsundalo. This is the population of Benguet. Benguet in the 2015 census was 446,224 people. It had a density of 160 inhabitants per square kilometer or 410 inhabitants per square mile if the highly urbanized city of Baguio is included for geographical purposes. The population of 791,590 with a density of 280 kilometer square. So this is the Ifugao, and the capital of Ifugao is Lagawe. Area and location. Covering a total land area of 251,778 hectares, the province of Ifugao is landlocked area located at the foot of the Cordillera mountain range. It is bounded by the high peak mountain of Benguet on the west, on the south by Nueva Vizcaya, on the east by Isabela, and on the north by protruding strip of the territory of Mountain Province. Ifugao has geographic profile 2. The home of the famous Banawe Rice Terraces has a landscape dominated by extensive mountain ranges with peaks as high as 2,500 meters. The Ifugaos who live on its slopes where there is no level land on which to plant their crops, painstakingly transform the mountainside with their hands into level upon level of rice paddies. The mountains contain lush forests and numerous rivers and waterfalls that drain into the lowland valleys. Some historians believe that the Ifugao migrated from Indochina across southern Japan to Luzon, then southward to Java because these are the only areas where rice terraces can be found. How to get there in Ifugao? Ifugao, particularly Banawe, can be reached using two different routes. One route is via Nueva Vizcaya, where the roads turn left from the highway in Bagabag and passes through Lagawe before reaching Banawe. The other route is from Baguio through Bontoc via Halsema Highway in the mountains. This is relatively longer route, but it offers more spectacular scenery. The tourist attraction in Ifugao, named Banawe Rice Terraces. Banawe is one of the most well-known areas in the Philippines, primarily because of the numerous rice terraces that were carved in the mountain slopes by the Ifugaos as far back as 2,000 years ago. It is said that this step seems to be reached to the heavens. When linked, the steps would reach about halfway and around the globe. Aside from the rice terraces, one may also appreciate the culture of the Ifugaos, which has remained intact after so many years of contact with different cultures. Banggaan Village in Banawe. This village, which seems to be located inside a huge bowl, offers a panoramic view of the rice terraces. Batad Village in Banawe. This is another good place from which to view the rice terraces, which here are more formed like seats in an amphitheater. Hapao Village in Wangduan affords some of the oldest rice terraces in the area, as well as a view of some of the most scenic landscapes. $1 Million Hill in Kiangan, a hill named during World War II, when the Allied armies spent millions of dollars worth of bombs and ammunition to annihilate the enemies of the area. Mount Amuyao, between the boundary of Banawe and Mayoyao, rising 2,702 meters or 8,865 feet above sea level. Mount Amuyao is the 8th highest peak in the Philippines. Its summit provides a breathtaking panorama of Mountain Province, Isabela, Nueva Vizcaya, and Ifugao. So, yun daw yung 8 sa pinakamataas na peak sa buong Pilipinas. Mount Anapawon, centrally located in Ifugao, which is considered the best camping site in the province. This peak provides a panoramic view of Wangduan Municipality of Lagawe and Kiangan, as well as the rice terraces of Hingyon. Mount Napulawan in Wangduan into level of rice paddies. The mountains contain lush forest and numerous rivers and waterfalls that drain into the lowland valleys. Some historians believe that the Ifugao migrated from Indochina across southern Japan to Luzon, then southward to Java, because these are the only areas where rice terraces can be found. How to get there in Ifugao? Ifugao, particularly Banawe, can be reached using 2 different routes. One route is via Nueva Vizcaya, where the roads turn left from the highway in Bagabag and passes through Lagawe before reaching Banawe. The other route is from Baguio through Bontoc via Halsema Highway in the mountains. This is relatively longer route, but it offers more spectacular scenery. The tourist attraction in Ifugao, named Banawe Rice Terraces. Banawe is one of the most well-known areas in the Philippines, primarily because of the numerous rice terraces that were carved in the mountain slopes by the Ifugaos as far back as 2,000 years ago. It is said that this step seems to be reached to the heavens. When linked, the steps would reach about halfway and around the globe. Aside from the rice terraces, one may also appreciate the culture of the Ifugaos, which has remained intact after so many years of contact with different cultures. Banggaan Village in Banawe. This village, which seems to be located inside a huge bowl, offers a panoramic view of the rice terraces. Batad Village in Banawe. This is another good place from which to view the rice terraces, which here are more formed like seats in an amphitheater. Hapao Village in Wangduan afford some of the oldest rice terraces in the area, as well as a view of some of the most scenic landscapes. Million Dollar Hill in Kiangan, a hill named during World War II when the Allied armies spent millions of dollars worth of bombs and ammunition to annihilate the enemies of the area. Mount Amoyao, between the boundary of Banawe and Mayoyao, rising 2,702 meters or 8,865 feet above sea level. Mount Amuyao is the eighth highest peak in the Philippines. Its summit provides a breathtaking panorama of Mountain Province, Isabela, Nueva Vizcaya, and Ifugao. So, yun daw yung 8 sa pinakamataas na peak sa buong Pilipinas. Mount Anapawon, centrally located in Ifugao, which is considered the best camping site in the province. This peak provides a panoramic view of Wangduan Municipality of Lagawe and Kiangan, as well as the rice terraces of Hingyon. Mount Napulawan in Wangduan. This site, with its thick tropical rainforest and its rare flora, is ideal for mountaineering. So, yun. Yun daw ay malimit din puntahan ng mga mahilig mag-hiking. So, this is the end of my report, and the rest is for Miss Patricia Malapitan. By the way, I'm Joana Marquinez again, and I'm reporting about the Cordillera Administrative Region. Thank you. I hope na sana naintindihan nyo naman yung paliwanag ko.
As Joanne mentioned, I am Patricia Malapitan from BSTM 1A, and I'm her partner in this report. So, population of Ifugao. The total population of Ifugao as of May 2010 was 191,078, and a growth rate of 1.31 from 1990 to 2010. As of 2010, Ifugao's total land area is 2,506.3 square kilometers. A total of 27,083 hectares are classified as alienable and disposable, and 224,695 hectares are forest land. Next, Kalinga, and its capital is Tabuk. The area and location of Kalinga has a total land area of 3,119.4 square kilometers. It is bounded on the north by Apayao, on the east by the Cagayan Valley, on the west by Abra, and on the south by Mountain Province. Geographic profile. Although it is roughly rugged and mountainous, a large portion of the province is open grassland suitable for pasture. It also has pine tree forests higher up in the west. How to get there? The best way to reach Kalinga is through Tuguegarao City in Cagayan Province, where a major highway links Tuguegarao and Tabuk. Travel time takes less than 2 hours. And the tourist attractions, first is Balbasang Balbalan National Park in Balbalan. This was declared a national park on June 17, 1972 by RA 6463. The park, which is located near the boundary of Abra, is traversed by numerous rivers with clear waters. Next is Chico Dam in Calanasan, Tabuk. Constructed by the National Irrigation Administration, it is supposed to be one of the largest dams in Southeast Asia. Next is Mabilong Weavers Village in Lubuwagan. This is the center of the ethnic weaving industry in the province. One can see how the ethnic designs are made and how the colors are mixed. The village is along the road and one can buy souvenirs right from the weavers. Next is Mount Vinaratan in the Kalan southeast of Tanudan. Legend says that Kabunyan, the legendary god of the Kalingas, hunted in the mountain range. He could not hear the barking of his hunting dogs because of the deafening songs of the birds. So next is Mount Matingoy Dinayao, Sleeping Beauty, in Tinglayan and Tanudan. This mountain range, which separates the two municipalities of Tinglayan and Tanudan, is said to shape like a woman's body stretched out facing the sky. Next is Nanning Catholic Church in Tabuk. This church is one of the oldest churches in the Cordilleras, known for its beautiful architecture. Today, it serves as retirement home for local priests. Padcharao, Padcharao Lake in Pasay. Rising approximately 1,800 to 2,000 meters above sea level, this 1-hectare lake is full of Japanese eels. Its name is derived from the plant called charao in the Pasil dialect, which abounds in the lake. Next is Pasil Natural Dam in Dangtalan, Pasil. Formed after the mountainside eroded numerous years ago. This area is ideal for boating and picnicking during the summer months. Next is Rice Terraces, Barangay Tulgao, East, Tinglayan. These are best viewed from the National Highway Road, where one can also get a sprawling view of the different barangays of Tinglayan. And last is Ulalim Festival in Kalinga Day, Kalinga. This annual celebration showcases the cultural dances and customary tradition of the Kalinga folk. It is held every February 13 to 16. The population of Kalinga. The population of Kalinga in the 2015 census was 212,680 people, with a density of 66 inhabitants per square kilometer or 170 inhabitants per square mile. On the 2000 census survey, Kalinga people comprised 64.37% or 111,774 of the total provincial population of 173,638. The mountain province, the capital is Bontoc. The area and location is covering an area of about 2,097 square kilometers. Mountain Province is a landlocked area in the central Cordilleras in northern Luzon. It is bounded on the north by Kalinga and Abra, on the east by Isabela, on the west by Ilocos Sur, and on the south by Ifugao and Benguet. Geographic profile: the province's rough terrain is characterized by very steep to nearly level slopes and deep ravines, as well as high mountain ranges with limited terraces and floodplains. Elevation ranges from 500 meters at Skalit, Sadanga to as high as 2,714 meters at the top of Mount Kalawitan in Sabangan. The high-rise terraces are located in Bontoc and Sabangan along Chico River and its tributaries. How to get there? From Baguio, there are buses that make at least 2 daily trips to Bontoc via Halsema Highway. In Bontoc, there are jeeps that make regular trips to Sagada. From Banawe, Ifugao, Bontoc, or Sagada, it is 3 to 4 hours by jeepney. Tourist attractions. First is Agricultural Stone Calendar in Cutay, Pesao. This calendar is made of 2 huge rocks situated side by side, leaving a crevice at the middle where rays of the sun pass through only once a year. This event heralds the start of the planting season and is celebrated by the local folk every September 30. Next is Alab Petroglyph in Alab, Bontoc, a huge rock with bows and arrows and human beings etched on its surface. The etching of human beings are believed to be images of warriors buried in the Kanga cave at the foot of the mountain where the rock stands. Bisao sunset in Bisao. A spectacular view of the sunset with its warm glowing rays. Next is Bontoc Village Museum. This museum houses various ancient artifacts and other indigenous items. Hanging coffins in Sagada Mountain Province. The people of Sagada have a unique tradition. Instead of burying their departed family members, their coffins, which are usually made of pine trunks, are hung on cliffside. Lumiyang Cave in Sagada. At Big Cave where piles of coffins of the town's ancestors are kept. Mabalotbot Oil Lake in Mabalotbot, Parasalis. A magnificent lake whose water shimmer, especially on starry nights. The shimmering effect is believed to be caused by pools of oil coming out of the lake itself. Mainit Hot Spring in Mainit Bontoc. One of the outstanding natural attractions in Bontoc, renowned for its warm water. Pagan God Footprints Palikut Aso, Bontoc. In Bontoc, there is a large stone with four prints believed to be that of Lumawi, the pagan god of the Igorots. Nearby is a stone resembling a sleeping dog. Sumaging Cave in Sagada Mountain Province. Sumaging or Big Cave, it's a major tourist attraction in the area. It is a large cave system that one can explore with the aid of the local guides. Cold water flows in many parts of the cave, so one should expect to get during this great adventure. Next is traditional ato or dokay in province wide. These rooms not only serve as sleeping quarters for the folks and for male teenagers, but also as a venue for traditional rites and village cultural affairs, usually built with cogon grass as roofing and stones as walls. The Cordillera Administrative Region SWOT Analysis. The Stranges has numerous high qualities, natural and cultural attraction, ideal for high profile activities like hiking and whitewater rafting. So the weaknesses is many parts of the region are difficult to access. And the opportunities, roads connecting to other regions are being improved or built, hopefully resulting in greater accessibility. So the threats are the region is prone to earthquakes and landslides. Cordillera Administrative Region. The area and location of the region has an area of 18,294 square kilometers. It is bounded on the northeast by Cagayan Province, on the south by Pangasinan and Nueva Vizcaya, on the east by Isabela, and on the west by Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, and La Union. Geographic profile. The region is predominantly mountainous with towering peaks, plateaus, and valleys. The climate is dry from November to April and rainy for the rest of the year. The weather is cool throughout the year, especially in the months of November to February. The people of the mountains of the Cordillera are home to the hardy people who had resisted the two most protracted period of colonization in Philippine history. The seven major ethno-linguistic tribes of the north is Ibaloy, Kankanay, Bontoc, Kalinga, Ifugao, Itneg, and Tinguian. In their mountain fastnesses, these people still practice the age-old art of terracing the rice fields and have preserved important indigenous cultural forms and traditions despite increasing contact with lowland and urban culture. As of 2015, CAR had a population of 1,772,006. Political profile. The region is composed by 6 provinces: versus Abra, Apayao, Benguet, Ifugao, Kalinga, and Mountain Province. Baguio City, the summer capital of the Philippines, is located in Benguet. How to get there? The Cordillera Administrative Region is accessible by land and by air. However, due to its mountainous landscape, transportation between provinces, municipalities, and barangays could be difficult. The region can be entered from the west through Ilocos Region via Cannon Road, Marcos Highway, and Nagilian Road. From the east, it can be reached via Tuguegarao in Cagayan Province. Ifugao is accessible via Nueva Vizcaya through municipality of Bagabag. Next is Abra and its capital is Bangued. The area and location of Abra occupies the western portion of the Cordillera region and has a total land area of 3,977.76 square kilometers. It is bounded by Ilocos Norte and Apayao on the north, Ilocos Sur on the south, Mountain Province and Kalinga on the east, and Ilocos Sur on the west. The geographic profile, the towering mountains of the Ilocos and the Cordillera provide a natural barrier on both the eastern and western sides of this landlocked province. Its rugged terrain of mountains and hills rolling towards Ilocos Sur is broken by flatlands near the Abra Valley and alongside the Abra River flowing northward from Mountain Province. How to get there? From Manila, Philippine Rabbit and Times Transit buses leave Caloocan and Cubao regularly for Bangued. The travel time is approximately 8 hours. There are many buses and time transit buses plying daily routes from the terminal at the new market in Vigan, Bangued. Next is Isabela and its capital is Ilagan. The area and location at 10,665 square kilometers, Isabela comprises almost 40% of the regional territory, making it the largest province in the region and the second largest province in the country in terms of land area. It is located in the northeastern part of Luzon, bounded on the north by Cagayan, on the south by Nueva Vizcaya, Quirino, and Aurora. On the west by Kalinga, Apayao, Ifugao, and Mountain Province, and on the west by the Pacific Ocean. Geographic profile. The eastern area straddled by the Sierra Madre mountain range is regionally forested. A big portion remains uncharted and unexplored and is home to a variety of flora and fauna. Other areas have been declared government reservations. The western area is generally flat. The coastal area is a small strip to flat to a rolling land. The eastern and coastal areas is a small strip of flat to rolling rainfall, evenly distributed throughout the year. The western part has a wet and dry season. How to get there? Cyclone Airways and Asian Spirit offer special flights to Kawayan Airport in Isabela. And Aguinaldo Shrine in Palanan. This was where General Emilio Aguinaldo was captured by American forces, ending the Philippine Revolution in 1901. Church of Alicia in Alicia. The church is famous for its unique Spanish architecture. Church of Echag in Echag. This particular church has a unique architecture that is hardly found anywhere in the Philippines. Dibulo Waterfalls in Dinapig. The waterfall has an estimated length of 100 meters. It is being studied as possible power and energy source. Next is Magat Dam Tourism Resort Complex by Barangay Aguinaldo Ramon. Asia's biggest dam project, the reservoir area is suitable for fishing, swimming, boating, sightseeing, and picnicking. Our Lady of Visitation Church in Gulbang houses and Miraculous Lady of the Visitations which is visited its many devotes, especially every July 2, which is her feast day. Palanan Rainforest Palanan, the Philippines' largest existing rainforest, situated at 800 feet above sea level. It is home to numerous unknown endemic species of flora and fauna and has exceptional biodiversity. Next is St. Matthias Church in Tamongi, an 18th century ultra baroque church unique for its extensive use of baked clay, but for wall finishing and for ornamentation. It also has a unique cylindrical bell tower. Next is San Pablo Church in San Pablo, built in 1625 under the supervision of Spanish missionary Padre de Santo Tomas. It is the oldest church in the province. Next is Nuestra Señora de Atocha in Alicia. One of the oldest churches in the province was built during the Spanish period. Next is Saint Rose de Lima Church in Gamu, one of the oldest Spanish churches in the province. Next is Santa Victoria Caves in Fuya National Park, Ilagan, famous for its stalactites and stalagmites. The site is ideal for spelunking. Next is Batanes, and its capital is Basco. Batanes is the Philippine northmost province, lying in a vast expanse of water where the Pacific Ocean on the east merges with the South China Sea on the west. Its other boundaries are the Basha Channel on the north and the Balintang Channel on the south. Its capital town of Basco is about 280 kilometers north of Apari, Cagayan on the northern tip of Luzon Island. Though some 860 kilometers north of Manila, it is only 190 kilometers south of Taiwan. Batanes has a total land area of 230 square kilometers. Geographic profile: Batanes is made up of three major islands, Batang, Sabtang, and Itbayat, and seven isles including Yami, the nethermost point of the Philippines. Although its land area is small, its territorial water is vast, about 4,500 square kilometers. The terrain is quite rugged, with 42% of the land being steep hills and mountains. All the islands have intermittent stretches of sandy beaches and rocky shorelines. So how to get there? Asian Spirit flies from Manila to Basco via Lawag and Tuguegarao at least twice a week, weather permitting. The flight is 3 hours from Manila and 1 hour from Tuguegarao. A ferry servicing the Ilocos and Batanes route can also be used. Dalton Pass in Nueva Vizcaya. Aside for being the gateway to Cagayan Valley region, Dalton Pass also offers the only direct route between Pampanga and Cagayan Valley. According to history, the pass became the scene of much bloody fighting before the final stages of World War II. Dalton Pass Historical Shrine in Santa Fe, standing at about 3,000 feet above sea level, the shrine was built in commemoration of the battle at Ballet Pass during World War II. Dupax del Sur Church in Dupax del Sur, covering an area of 7,200 square meters. It is one of the oldest and biggest churches in the valley. Its architectural design is said to be similar to the Tuguegarao St. Peter's Cathedral. Next is Kirang Pass in Kirang, Arditay, a monument in honor of the gallantry of the Filipino soldiers during World War II. Next is Mount Pulag National Park in Cayapa, a park that serves as gateway to the country's second highest peak, the Mount Pulag. Nueva Vizcaya Capital in Bayumbong, a study of architectural ingenuity. The capital has a park with exotic plant species, concrete benches, sidewalks lighted with giant mercury lamps, and a man-made lagoon ideal for rowing. It also houses all the provincial government offices. Next is Salina Salt Spring in Bayambong, a natural wonder consisting of hills made entirely of petrified white salt. And next is St. Dominic Cathedral in Nueva Vizcaya. This cathedral is a living vestige of the grandeur that was the old town, maintaining its original 18th century Spanish style facade. It is said to have been the first cathedral in the province. Next is Kapisaan Cave in Kapisaan. This recently discovered wonder features impressive limestone formation. One can have a great adventure exploring this site. And next is Quirino in capital is Cabarogis. The area and location of Quirino occupies a total land area of 3,057.18 square kilometers, approximately 8.4% of the total regional area and about 1.2% of the total land area of the country. It is located at the southeastern part of Cagayan Valley. Geographic profile. The Sierra Madre mountain range provides a natural barrier on the eastern and southern border, while Mamparang Range covers the western part of the province. About 80% of the total land area is mountainous. So how to get there? Quirino is 375 kilometers from Manila, approximately 6 hours away by bus. Take any of the many buses that regularly go to Isabela or Cagayan and get off at Cordon Isabela. From there, jeepneys and minibuses ply the road to Quirino. Okay, Aglipay Caves in Cabaragis. A series of 38 caves, 7 of which have already been developed for tourism, offering tourists an interesting contact with nature. Located in an area of undulating hills and rich forest reserve, the caves also feature an underground river. Aglipay Town in Aglipay, a historic town which got its name from Father Gregorio Aglipay, a Filipino priest who rebelled against Spanish colonizers and founded the Philippine Independent Church. Araw ng Quirino in Quirino. Various tribes participate in this event, which commemorates the birth of the province. Bisangal Waterfalls in Madela. These falls are situated in a virgin forest land that is considered a haven for wildlife and endangered species. The Cabarogis Falls in Cabarogis. This waterfalls is one of the many natural attractions in the province, which has the potential for tourism development. Governo Rapids in Madala. This site offers swift, turbulent, crystal clear waters ideal for water activities such as rafting. It is also famous for its giant wall of limestones jutting out from one side of the Cagayan River, framing the Sierra Madre. Next is Nagpukil Cave in Difan. The cave is located inside a dome-shaped mountain frequented by domestic tourists during Holy Week. It's an ideal site for hiking and picnicking. Next is Nagtipunan Town in Nagtipunan. The town is surrounded by virgin forest and it's currently being developed as a gateway to Quezon Province. Pongo River Valley. The river valley is a natural area that offers scenic opportunities and perhaps some nature activities to the visitors. Next is Upper Cagayan River Basin in Nagtipunan. The source of Cagayan River is presently undergoing development as a camp and picnic grove. Last is Victoria Falls, Barrio Zangbay, Nagtipunan, believed to one of the sources of the Cagayan River that cuts the valley into two ends and the Aparidit.